Well, hello everybody. You may see that the numbers are a little different. And that's because I thought to myself, well, Diego, wouldn't you like to play some desert golfing? And so I did. You can see here that at hole 1000 at... Oh, well, thank you, Game Center. At hole 1000, a stroke of 2,183, my average, to be nice to myself at the top of this new session, is 2.183. Now, I thought this time we could just engage in some some literary analysis. I feel like it's been a second since we've done that here on this channel, and some literary analysis about this game. It's just because this is a game that on the face of it doesn't seem to be telling us a whole lot. But you and I know that's typically not the whole story in these things. And so maybe we can try and parse out what is the message of desert golfing. What is at least a message of desert golfing? I know one of the messages is, Diego, don't do that shot that you just did. And so let's I think start from from a sort of environmental perspective, not environmentalist, but sort of looking at the environment in which this game is taking place. Because, one of the things is that golf, more normal golf, that was too hard of a hit. I didn't need to hit that hard. More normal golf takes place on a course very different from what we see here. This is, there are no greens here. It's not there's possibly a bright day, but I don't know if it's a bright sunny day. If the sky is clear, that's a very different sky to be clear. Let's see if I can peek it over this top there. Nope. Oh, am I going to land in there? Okay. Let's just get ourselves out of this. So that way now we can get ourselves across this, there, a thingy. Now with, I thought we were going to get stuck on that little lip there. That would have been a little tragic. So we got a very different environment than the ones golf is usually played in. And, take that as one piece of thing. And I think we should sort of maybe continue some of the differences between here and, a traditional game of golf, let's say. Because I think that's sort of a potentially fruitful. I'm coming into this as a discussion topic, having only thought of the discussion topic and not really anything past that. So we're just gonna work through the process here. And thinking of other differences between this and golf, of course, the number of holes and the fact that they're, rather than different courses, just one long continuous course, is I think pretty key. Like look at the difference between the hole next to this. If you think of a golf course, be it a traditional or mini, the holes follow each other. Yes, I could have just gone for. I want it to be cool and have it like bounce in a cool way. I wanted to Rube Goldberg my way into the hole. And look at this. It's going to take me three putts. One that should have taken me one. Can these be considered putts? I feel like the size of the space feels a lot more putty, but you know, I don't think we're hitting these in the putt fashion. Oh, I wanted that to go just over. I'm just not feeling very confident in my my hits like that, and so, you know, I want the ones that can bounce over it sort of on its own for me. Oh, this is an interesting one. Let's see if I can sort of get this to... Nope. That's okay. Uh-oh, goodbye. Farewell! So it goes. Part of what's nice about being sort of this high in the numbers is a 5-hole is a lot less devastating now than it is in the first, 100 putts, 100 swings. But if you think of a mini golf course, it's all, you're walking along the singular path, and the sort of alleyway of a course is the path that you have to get to continue onto where the next hole will be. You don't have to backtrack or do anything funky like that. I think that'd be pretty funny. A golf course that's simultaneously a maze. You have to find where the next hole is before you can get to it. That was too hard. I'm not thinking about my strokes as much as I should be. But you, is that going to roll down? Please don't roll down. Oh, no! Ay, qué lástima. Okay. That's going to be probably too much, maybe. Yeah. Oh, well. See if we can get this a little bit further then. Yep, just like that. And into the hole? No. Let's do the same shot, but a slightly different angle. And into the hole? Oh, no, that was just the exact same shot. How does this do us? Is that too much? Is that really too much? Oh my goodness. I'm not going to get this one. Why is this one so tough? Oof. It's going to roll down. Oh no, this is so sad. Okay, let's try this. So it'll... Okay, good. That one made it get stuck. Yeah, typically, once you hit it into the hole, that isn't where you start for your next one. I like how this is giving us sort of a look at what the next hole is going to bring. It's going to look really intimidating. But I think we're just going to be able to sort of pop it up onto there. Yeah, look at that. That won't be too bad. See? I thought that was just barely going to squeak its way over, and that would have been sad. Nice. Part of the difference between this and traditional golf, again, or mini golf, I feel like both of those are sort of equal things, is the not enough. Yeah, it has to do with the abstracting to a 2D plane as opposed to a 3D one. Interesting. Alrighty. From behind the backboard. That ain't gonna go far enough. But we got ourselves to the doorstep. Sometimes to the doorstep feels just fine. Very nice. I don't like this hole very much. Uh-oh. I did the one thing I wanted to not do. I was trying to get it just before or just after, and of course, I split that difference. Uh-oh. Goodbye. Goodbye. It's been nice knowing you. Okay, that means I got a second shot at this one. Uh-huh. Okay, there we go. That'll go in. That's what I should have done that first time. This one we're just going to kind of hit it hard. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Right in. But you can imagine, right, maybe a more traditional golf game. And so with that, I think looking at the what do some of those differences mean in terms of your play and your reaction as a player, separating those two things. So I think they are a little bit separate. Because my reaction as a player. So my reaction as play is I'm not looking for example, like wind or the difference between, how you might say, like the difference between, that's not far enough, between like a rough and a green and a whatever the other ones are. I don't know golf well enough to know all the different names for the different little sections. Is fairway? Fairway is one of them. Fairway is one of them. Okay. Because all of the sand is equally frictionless. Has an equal coefficient of friction. And I'm not dealing with different speeds or direction of wind. Or any wind at all, which I would say is a consistent speed and direction. 0. And the kind of environment that I'm dealing with is also different. I'm trying to think of, as a 2D golf game, this is choosing to be a side-to-side 2D golf game, which, I think is then also making decisions about which kinds of environment you're going to be dealing with. Because if you think of, some other 2D golf games like what was that, Golf Story? That RPG one. Don't go too far now. Or even like the 51 Club golf game, where the top-down version of golf. Ooh, good, stopped. I think is a little bit more easy to have things like, okay, you are abstracting height. See how close that was? That was close to amazing. Now I'm going to have a hard time with it, so I'm just going to give myself a line-up shot to get closer. A little bit too close. A little too close. The line-up shot when I get a little bit closer. Uh-oh. Okay, good. Maybe? Okay. I'll make up for that hole on this one. Oh, those last 2 holes were really difficult. Like, I averaged 3 shots apiece. Oof. Yeah, so I think that's the difference between like gameplay versus my reaction as a player, where the difference between not having par versus having par. These holes are, they track your strokes, and they have the plus by them, which is usually designated for how far over par you are, right? There we go. And so I think part of that makes every stroke feel a little bit more meaningful. Like you aren't... to dive into my reaction, I always want to do the existentialist reading. That's my MO. And I think part of that is par gives you a goal. It tells you what correct or not looks like and how much correct or not you are. It gives the baseline, it gives average, it gives normal. And that is something sort of bestowed onto you by sort of the system of golf. Whereas here, by very, I'll say, neutral facing, showing just your total number of strokes and your strokes per hole, is, I think, instead encouraging sort of your own baselines, your own perceptions and understandings. Now, I remember first playing through this game. Look at that. Perfect. And it took me till around this point to think about sort of an average number of putts per hole, rather than looking like, each hole, how am I... Woohoo! Yeah! You saw that. Not quite as nice, but still pretty good. And start thinking of my goal as averages. How many putts per thingy. What's the average putt per hole? And so that's a baseline that I'm coming up with, and a number that I'm personally striving for, as opposed to, par something that I can push sort of for or over. And I think another thing to say here then is sort of the difference between this as a solo game versus golf as potentially competitive, where you can have something like most golf games being sort of not just stacking up your own success to yourself, but instead comparatively, because par it seems to me, I think par is a useful sort of narrative tool to say this is a 3 difficulty hole. And so, when you've never done that hole before, or if you are thinking how to approach that hole, then you can think, okay, so if I can imagine it taking 3 holes or 3 strokes to get through this, or this one looks like it's pretty simple, but it has a par of 4 or whatever, so it's maybe a little bit trickier than I anticipated at first. Should have gone a little bit more bold and brash. Sorry to my microphone. There's something on my screen. When you're looking at competitive golf in a tournament, you can measure it and how far over par you are overall, but if you're all on the same holes, then it's just counting the number of strokes you've done total. That math is the same. It just makes the numbers maybe a little bit cleaner. And again, a little bit more narratively, what's the word? Convenient. My mind was going to considerable, and considerable is not the right word. But when you are doing this sort of solo, that's, I think, when par makes more sense as even if not competitively, then like sort of self-competitively. And I think that's part of what makes this game A, more chill, and B, a little bit existential. Because you are the one creating your own goals. Now, I will say, I don't want to portray this as completely neutral. This is not a neutral process. It is still, what metrics it shows and doesn't is impacts what goals you make for yourself. Because it is still giving 3 numbers. And so those 3 numbers bear importance. How many strokes you've taken on this hole, how many strokes you've taken overall, and how many holes you've done overall. And so, those are the base material, the Play-Doh you can mash together. And so, there may be a lot of ways to mix those 3 colors, but there's still a finite number of ways to mix those 3 colors. Yeah, look at that. And so what I've, been doing with, average number of strokes per hole is one way. But I also might just be thinking, okay, I might instead decide to just go as far as I can, as fast as I can. But that might require me setting up a timer on my own. And saying, okay, how many holes can I get through in 1 minute? Regardless of how many strokes it takes. I just need to, get through the hole. And so that might, make a difference in sort of my shot selection and things like that. Like if I'd missed that and I'd gone too far, maybe I would still go for that type of shot afterwards because it'd be quicker to just sort of hit the one miraculous shot than wait the time to have slower shots string together. Or maybe, sort of the oh no, oh, what a mistake. Okay, no, I think I got this. Yep, perfect. But I think part of what's nice about it is in giving sort of so few possible metrics, I think that's part of what encourages you to not like make your own metrics. Did I really just do the same thing again? Okay, good. That one actually went in. Oh yeah. Because I feel like if it gave you lots and lots of different metrics, if there was a menu that you could open up that was just full of different stats that it was tracking, like average angle that you hit the ball, number of times you hit the ball over 45 degrees, under 45 degrees, horizontally, number of strokes you've taken sort of in the positive X direction and the negative X direction, whatever that is. Highest shot, furthest shot, whatever. I feel like, that's a giving more fodder to create sort of competitive metrics to hold yourself or to sort of compare with others by. And I think by being more sparse, it is, much closer to encouraging I don't know, basically just encouraging some chill out time, just some golfing to golf for golf's sake. But at the same time, it is clearly marking some signs of forward progress. It is counting how many holes you have gone. And in addition to that, you may notice the color palette is, slightly different from when we started. It is a darker red now, and the color palette will continue to shift. And so the game is marking, forward progression in this way. And I think, there's a twist that it ends up taking with that, but if we end up getting to there, I doubt that we will. We can talk about it then. But I think that's enough analysis for this episode. I would love to hear if you have anything. Put those in the... what did I say last time? Put those in the commies. And we'll finish up this hole. And I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you next time on Let's Play. If we do more desert golfing, we'll probably be further in the future. With some more holes. I just wanted to give a bit of an update from where I was personally in this game, because I feel like 1,000 was a pretty good store for that. I feel like this episode's been long. It's probably been long. Yeah, we've done 84 holes. It's probably been a long one. Well, thank you for joining me for this little slice of literary analysis, and see you next time. Goodbye.